All right, getting going here, boys. What's up? Good to see you guys. I haven't done this type of video in a minute, so I figured I would today. I'm gonna actually put this up here because I think it'll be a little bit. Mic check, mic check. It's kind of quiet. Let me see. Let me go like over here. Hopefully that, I don't know, this can be annoying sometimes. It's all right. Anyways, yeah, so I haven't done this in a minute because I actually like watching the videos myself, and I enjoy watching it back when it's the lifts. I think it's funny. I think between Austin and Isaiah, there's just a lot of funny, stupid stuff that comes out of our mouths, which I'm sure all of you guys have witnessed firsthand, which is always fun. Yeah, I mean, the setup for this can be a little bit more time consuming, but getting into it, a couple wins for the team. I wanted to share these because they were exciting. One is Eric Batterell. So if you guys have followed like content on Instagram for a while, you guys probably know who Eric is. Eric Batterell is 5'8", Canadian guy, pretty big in like the dunk community, I guess you could say, or whatever else, has a decent following. But he got his first dunk on 10 feet since he messed up his knee. And so it's been a really long time coming. He did a really good job staying with the training, stayed very diligent, asked good questions. And, you know, he made a lot of progress. And so, you know, shout out to him. And then the other one is Dom Gonzalez. So as you guys know, Dom partially tore his IT band. I think it would have been, I don't know when that was actually, but, or no, sorry, not his IT band. I'm thinking of Isaiah. He partially tore his quad tendon, and I think he did that maybe 2 months ago, but he did his first jumps right-left on 9.2 or 9.1. You guys will probably see that on his page today, maybe. He might have posted it yesterday. But that was big, so we did drops and built them up. Oh, I got a call from Mr. Rivera. Hey, I'm currently I'm YouTubing.
Oh, my bad.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right, bye. All right, so that was funny. Anyways, so yeah, Dom got his first dunk on 9.2. It was the first time he's really gone right-left. We started with the drops and then built into the jumps, which kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk about, which is my lift today. And so my lift today is going to be a feel-good lift. And we've talked about this before in previous episodes, but I figured I would kind of talk a little bit more about it, and also about like phase 4 tendon loading. So phase 4 tendon loading is anytime you get a stretch shortening cycle. Stretch shortening cycle is when the tendon stretches, has a consequent isometric period, and then a fast or more aggressive concentric period. Hence you stretch the tendon and then shorten very quickly. The muscle and the tendon have, well, the musculotendinous unit is definitely doing that, but for a long time, we thought that the muscle was stretching a lot. I don't really think that's the case. It might a little bit, but for the most part, I think it functions isometrically and concentrically, even at the knee and patella, or at the patella and the Achilles. So if you're good, at least, and forceful, you can pull on that tendon and get a lot more force out of it. Isaiah had a big conundrum about it the other day. Anyways, that's phase 4 loading. Phase 4 loading is the most intense. It's the most provocative. Yesterday, I did some of the most intense phase 4 loading that you possibly can do. I did depth jumps. I did repeat hurdle hops. I did, yeah, I mean, on the knee, that stuff's really brutal. When I do bounding, I usually don't feel it in my, in my knee. I don't much at all. I feel it a lot in my back and my pelvis and kind of my hips, because you have to support an asymmetrical force, meaning, you know, if you're bilaterally standing and you stand on one leg, one side of your pelvis is supporting the weight of your body, right? Even if you put your foot in the center of your, you know, right in your, under your midline, that hip is still supporting the weight, right? It's still doing a lot of work. So when you bound, you have that happen to a higher degree. And so, you know, in my experience, bounding, especially for height or distance, really, you know, it trains the Achilles, it trains the knee and stuff, but I've found that it really, really loads up the it's slightly longer contacts for what I do, and it really loads up the pelvis and hip. And then when I do these kind of faster contacts, double leg, those tend to load up my knee quite a bit, regardless of whether I land on the ball of the foot or, the toe, or I land on my heels. It doesn't matter. It really loads up my knee, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like, you want to load that tissue if you want to jump higher. That's how you jump higher, is by, you load the tissue, you have some sort of adaptation that follows that stimulus, and then, your tendons adapt, they get more stiff, they get better at handling that, and that process continues on. So that said, as I was doing the session, it was pretty painful. I talked about that in the voiceover yesterday, which is fine. I'm not pressed about that, but today's lift is what I would consider a phase 1 and phase 2 day. So you'll notice I skipped phase 3. It's because I actually warmed up for phase 4 loading with phase 3 loading yesterday. I did energy storage, falling off the box before I did energy storage and release. And now I'm going to do slow strength work, right? And a lot of people are like, why don't you do it on the same day? Well, because your tendon has a capacity. Your tissue has a capacity. And so if I decided to do the lift on the same day, I'm already well over the capacity of my tendon. That's why it flared up. But I made a calculated decision to do that. And today I'm gonna load the strength work to help the tissue repair itself. So tendons recover every 6 hours. I'm sure you guys have seen that in Keith Barr's research. That's why I recommend doing ISOs every 6 hours. And so if you load the tendon in that, workout or whatever else, and then you load it again in the squats, you've basically already really pushed the limits of what you can handle. And then you're going to go ahead and squat. Like, squatting alone, some people get tendinopathy without even jumping. They get knee pain. They'll just squat heavy and they'll get knee pain. And so, you can't just add stimuli on top of stimuli. You're just overfilling the cup, right? And so I already was overfilling the cup. I didn't want to push it further and make it worse. And then, your timelines for recovery are longer. Everything takes more time. Is bro honking at me? I think he is. I didn't do anything wrong. So didn't want to do that, and that's why you don't want to do slow strength work the same day that you do, elastic work. Pretty much today I'll go in, I will do slow squats, I will warm up with ISOs, probably do some posterior chain work, may or may not jump, what would be maybe tomorrow, I guess, but I probably won't. I don't think I'll be 100%. Like, it wouldn't be smart, basically. I mean, I could do it, but I would have a shit session. I would kind of defeat the purpose. I've already done 2 days of plyos this week on top of jumping on Sunday. So it'd just be like every other day I've been hitting some sort of elastic work. That's really intense and unnecessary, borderline unnecessary. So I don't really need to do that, nor do I think it would benefit me in terms of my health. I'm probably, who knows, maybe I'll do drops. I'm not really sure. Remember, drops would be a phase, get over here. Drops would be a phase 3 exercise. Jumps would be hold on one second, guys. I gotta merge over. Jumps would be phase 4. So whenever I have a flare up like that, what I like to do is, yikes. Oh boy. It's kind of hard to shift, drink coffee, talk to you guys in traffic. It's a bit. So yeah, whenever I have those flare-ups and I'm going into a session, and this is a good lesson for a lot of you guys, if you don't feel 100%, don't go and do what's written on the piece of paper if you know it's going to make it worse, right? And this is specifically with jump sessions. Like, if you're going into a jump session and you feel bad, you don't think you're going to jump high, like, and I know I said yesterday it's okay to push through a little bit of pain, but you have to, it's like you have to make an educated, almost educated guess, or like educated decision about what's going to be the best for you. So if you're like past a 3, I'm probably not going to do a jump session. Especially if I've done elastic work within the previous 3 days. I'm gonna say that again. If I've done elastic work in the previous 3 days, then I'm probably not gonna jump if I'm past a 3. Now, if it's been a long time, right? I'm on load management, my knees feel like a 3 or something like that, and I haven't done elastic work in 3 days, I probably would go and do something elastic in nature. Now, I would adjust it so it was appropriate. I would do, all right, let's see if your boy can, oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy because this guy's not gonna let me over. Phew, I think I made it. Nope, still didn't, just merged across like 4 lanes. That was horrible, driving in Florida. Anyways, so I would do drops instead, basically. That's always gonna be the plan B. Isaiah's talked about this, I think, in the school community, so if you guys have seen that, or if you haven't seen that, go check it out. To which my next point, I'm just gonna toot my own horn a little bit. We're the best at what we do. I've been thinking about it, I'm like, why don't we have more athletes on our training? Why are guys like Benny P crushing us? Well, it's marketing, and we just don't market as well. I won't go as far as he does with stuff, but I would kick his ass in a coaching contest. And you could show this to him. And he knows not to get in a proper debate with me about this, but in my opinion, I would whoop his ass coaching athletes. What's he gonna do? Have everyone do the same split squats, the same program over and over and over again for every knee pain? You give me 10 athletes, you give him 10 athletes, you give me a month, you give him a month. Give us the worst cases possible. I'm going to eviscerate him when it comes to coaching. You look at the results after that period of time, it won't even be close. And tendons, don't even get me started on tendons. Tendons, I'll beat him 10 out of 10 times. It's not even close. Cartilage and stuff, he wouldn't, I don't think he'd beat me, but his stuff wouldn't make it worse per se. I don't know really what it would do. I know a lot of people talk about it, but I'm very, very confident in that claim. So that's really what I gotta say, because I sometimes get frustrated. It's like, how do you just feel like you're running up, like you're like facing a brick wall worth of like barriers, and it's like, why? It's like, because there's so much misinformation out there. Like, it always comes back to that. There's so much misinformation. There's so many people that talk about shit that don't know what they're talking about, and he's the number one guy that comes to mind that competes with us. So I'm gonna say that. If you went, I'm pretty confident I will outcoach anyone in jumping specifically. I guess there's a lot of people say, well, there's no way to know that. But when it comes to being as well versed as I am in the weight room, with plyos, with rehab, there's few people that on the planet, I would say, are at the same tier I am. So that's my sales pitch. It's not really much of a sales pitch. It's just saying I'm good at what I do. I don't know how else to convince you guys other than posting wins and stuff and whatever else. But if you're serious about getting better, consider signing up. I love it. We don't have a ton of athletes right now, so it's a good time. And we're putting a lot more time and effort towards it, energy towards the service. We added a whole freaking school community for you guys that are paying athletes. That's essentially a coaching course. It is so much information is being pumped into it every day. Hours and hours worth of work and education. We haven't even talked about that much, but if you sign up, you just get that. That's just an add-on top of all of the other actual service of coaching. Getting access to us, getting access to videos. Like, I don't know, just to me, it's like a no-brainer. What service offers that for $99? No one offers that. It's not even close. So yeah, that's what I have to say, and I'll see you guys at the gym. All right, so I'm on my top set here. Probably go, this has been kind of hard. As I said, this is a feel-good lift, so my knees kind of are feeling it a bit. Probably feeling like honestly, even a 4 or 5 on this. But that's fine. Trying to meet the minimum threshold stimulus, minimum effective dosage. Probably go 175 here. And then after this, I'll probably do some RDLs. I might hit some upper. I'm supposed to go to the beach tomorrow, so it's purely for confidence, even though there's no way it'll actually do anything in that shorter period of time. But I'll do it anyways. So 4 sets of 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 4. 2, 2, 4. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, 3, 4. One more. 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that was 4 sets of 6, last 2 sets, and I think 155, 175. First set was 135, second set was 155. For me, that tends to be the sweet spot. You know, my max right now is probably, I don't know, a little over 300 maybe, whereas Isaiah's is like, for front squat, 380, 390. So he has to go quite a bit heavier to hit you know, that minimal threshold, whereas I go quite a bit lighter and can still see a benefit from it. That's as deep as I can squat, so just happy with that. Good stimulus on the knee. I'll probably go RDLs next. I can hit those pretty hard, not really gonna be much of a detriment. Coming to the end of what I've called short stretch shortening cycle February, so strength is not necessarily like a focus. You know, I always try to maintain it, but yeah, we'll see. So RDL's next. You know what? I'm gonna go up. I'm feeling saucy. 300. We'll go. It's 295. Go 295. It's 25. And if I feel it, I'll cut it. But I think I'll be all right on this. Oops. So I didn't fall off too much in terms of strength. 5 on. Ooh, big brace. Kind of nervous. So you know, I haven't pushed weight in a while. She used to be light. That was very heavy. That was very, very, very heavy.
Now they're talking about releasing.
Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. That was very heavy. Had to brace super intensely for that. Whew, that was a doozy. All right, happy with that. 300 on a feel-good lift. And if you're wondering why I go so heavy on feel-good lifts on that, it's because I'll probably have off one more day and then I'll jump, so I'm not too worried about loading my hamstrings. I mean, if I jump tomorrow, it's gonna be so minor jump session, or I'll do plyos, but I'd rather get some sort of stimulus on stuff that I can, right? So yesterday I did double leg. Big reason for that was my low back and pelvis, you know, working through that stuff I talked about earlier in the video. So, you know, I could load this today, bilateral work, and we talk about back pain. You know, big issues when you're not bracing correctly, right? It's falling out of positions, losing what is essentially isometric strength in your spine as a stabilizer, or the chassis. You know, you don't want to break the chassis. Let your legs do the lifting, not your back. And yeah, so I was able to do this, see some benefit from it, and probably calf work next if I can get on that seated calf raise. Mic check. All right, so gonna do my last set of calf raise here. I think this is 645, so just off 315. I'll probably try like 3 to 4 reps of this. Knees are feeling better after the slow squats, so that's good. These calf raises always make me feel better too on my knees. So gonna try to get this. It's probably one of my favorite lifts. It's one of the ego lifts of dunkers, other than hip thrust, standing calf raise. But my legs are like shaking. It's almost like I haven't got a heavy weight room stimulus, and I don't even know how long. You guys probably know better than I would. So I want to try to get after it today on this stuff. We'll see though. Oh, that was a half a rep at the end. Whew. Pretty good. Pushing pretty freaking hard on that. Foot started to cramp up my arch. It's a good sign. Means I'm getting a big training stimulus. It's all about the stimulus. Are you meeting the threshold requirement to jump higher? That's what about, boys. Alrighty, turn the music down. Cool. So I just actually got back from Target. That place is a different level of hell. I hate shopping so much. I just really don't like it. You know, maybe at 30, maybe that's why you need a wife to go shopping for you. Maybe that's the real reason men do it. And enough about my dating life or lack thereof. Actually, I have a girlfriend. I'm not gonna lie. I know you guys didn't expect to hear that, but I do, alas. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut. So, no need to be a bodybuilder to get a girlfriend. Just try to jump higher. No, I'm just kidding. That's not actually the female dating advice. Actually, I feel like I actually have a decent amount of dating advice I could give, only because I've had, unfortunately, too many experiences of bad dating to where I can give advice. But, yeah, she's great. Her name is Andy. I actually met her when I bought my car. So 2 for 1, how about that, huh? You guys didn't expect that. Neither did I, honestly. But yeah, she's been great. Super nice girl, very sweet. Maybe she'll make an appearance on the old YouTube at some point. So yeah, the lift. I did the squats you guys saw the RDLs, you guys saw the calf raises. I was pretty happy with that lift, actually. Like, you know, when I say feel good lift, I think a lot of people think that means like, oh, you got to lift light. That's not always the case. Like sometimes it's good to go heavy because you can get a little bit more of a stimulus from the session, and that in the end ends up being beneficial because you can maintain your strength levels, you can maintain your neuromuscular outputs, you can maintain cross-sectional area of the muscle tissue, and it's good to hit those every once in a while. You don't, like if you're well trained, you don't necessarily need to be, to have crazy high densities or frequencies of training volume to maintain the adaptations that have already set in. Now, if you're trying to like make new adaptations, stuff like that, or like push the needle further, then yeah, you're gonna need to push up the volume. You're gonna need to push up your training intensity and time that you're working. But if you're, in the position I am where you're focusing on the stretch shortening cycle, there's really no pressure to drive up the volume of the weight room. Let's see if I'm gonna make this light. I'm probably not gonna make this light. So yeah, I mean, it's good to get it in every once in a while, and that's what the goal was today. It just kind of fit nicely in my schedule, and so I decided to do it today. I ended up doing upper at the end, and that wasn't like a major focus by any stretch, but I did some dumbbell press. My wrist has been kind of messed up for some time, so I did dumbbell press. I did 55s, I think, or something like that. And then for the rows, I did, what did I do for the rows? I think 60s or something like that. I ended up getting to. So I was pretty happy with that. I haven't done a lot of upper, but I maintain my strength fairly well just from, I guess, being in the weight room. I don't even know. I mean, I don't consider myself strong upper body wise by any stretch, but for my long limbs and stuff like that, and really only lifting upper, probably consistently pushing it, I maybe get after it a couple months of the year, maybe like 6, depends. I was content with that. Isaiah's a lot more consistent with the upper body stuff. I think he likes it. I don't like upper body. I think it's boring. Travel time, caution, congestion ahead, 4 miles. Let's see if maybe I want to avoid that at all cost. Traffic is the bane of my existence. But yeah, that went well. Tomorrow, I mean, we'll have to see how I bounce back. This is kind of a test. I haven't done this much plyo volume in a long time. I think maybe COVID was the last time that I hit that much plyo volume in a month. I mean, we're at the 23rd, so I don't even know how many months or how many sessions I've had. I want to say, I guess I'd have to look back and see when I actually started the stress shortening cycle portion. I mean, Isaiah didn't because he was training for All-Star, and then I got sick, so I kind of missed a couple days there. And then obviously we were at All-Star weekend, so I think I missed a week or so during that period of time from being sick and travel and stuff like that. But I want to say I've maybe done, probably, this is probably the 3rd week of it, maybe 3 weeks at least of it. I've hit at least 2, 4, 6, at least 6 sessions, I think, of plyos, of like a considerable amount of plyos. So, and I said this earlier and I maintain it, I would fully expect that I am gonna feel like absolute dog doo-doo, for the remainder of the month, and maybe even longer. But I might go back to some hypertrophy volume type work next month and join Isaiah in that endeavor. He's really itching to get after it in the weight room and stuff. He kind of doesn't love plyo. I mean, he has fun with plyos, but he doesn't like them that much. Austin right now had a flare up. He went crazy at All-Star. I mean, he hit a between the legs on 9/11 out of nowhere, and I'm sure you guys saw it on his page, but I missed it because I didn't know he was doing it, and I did not expect that, to be frank. But yeah, he crushed it. That was really impressive. I was really, really proud of him for that. But he cooled down and then tried to have another dunk session, and that never goes well. So he ended up having a little bit of a flare up, and then right now he's doing some acting stuff. I don't know if you guys know that Austin's an actor. It's kind of funny, but he hasn't trained super hard this week per se. He hasn't trained hard. He's probably doing. Yesterday he tried to do plyos, didn't work. He might have done. No, he didn't do plyos on Tuesday either. I think he was sick. He was shitting his brains out. So he's had a really medium, kind of low week. We figured out with his hip, it's actually, I haven't really assessed it because I was like, oh, okay. I did a little bit, but not too much because I just trusted him. Foolish. I should have done my own testing. So after taking him through kind of a different battery of stuff, I had him do hip extension in like a quadruped position, and then I had him do like hip thrust. It's actually similar to the spot that Isaiah has it on the greater trochanter of the femur, but he has like a tendon there that has been causing him a lot of issues. So I was able to induce that pain, having him do like a single leg hip thrust and just any hip extension really, and told him like, he's really bad at explaining things. So he's like, oh, it just gives out. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But I can feel the tendon rolling over the bone or something. And so I basically was like, all right, let me try to impose some specific training on that area. We're gonna have him get on the hip thrust machine, single leg, 4x6 slow, see if it feels any better. I actually haven't checked in. He's, like I said, he had an acting thing last night. He didn't sleep much, so I think he's sleeping right now. But I'll check in with him a little bit later. So yeah, in general, that's basically where everything's at with the guys. I think tomorrow Isaiah may dunk. I'm not sure. He might be dunking with Kilgannon. I think Kilgannon's in the area. I will be going to Tampa, so this might be the last time I post before then. Maybe I'll post something from the beach. Who knows? We'll see what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, hope you guys had a good week. I said this earlier, but if you're looking to get the best training in the world from the most knowledgeable coaches, not even myself, Isaiah at this point is one of the most knowledgeable too, sign up for THP. We spend a lot of time perfecting our craft and studying and trying to be the best we can. And you get individual coaching, you get group calls with us 3 to 4 times a week where we can go in and really dial things in. I've written from scratch a lot of programs. Oftentimes I can pull from I think we have 300 different months of training, maybe more, 7 times 73, whatever that is. Or I think it was something like that. It was like 7 times 70. I'd have to look, I don't remember. It's a lot. We have a lot of cycles. So usually I'll pull from one of those, but and I just have to know which puzzle piece fits in. But there's some times where I'll go in and I'll individualize to a high detail people's training, and I've been doing that a lot on the group calls. So if you are an athlete and you feel like you want more individualized coaching or you want to dial it in more, come to those group calls. Typically at the end, I spend a lot of time working on that stuff, and I'll do it by the month or I'll do it by the week. It just depends to kind of dial things in, or I'll tell you what adjustments to make in your training. And then also, like I said, we have school. School is a community that we created for you guys on the program, not the free one. This is a paid one that has a whole course inside of it. I created a 1-foot guide in there that's 10 to 12 pages long, nutrition guide that's 7 pages long, and then I talk through it for about 20 minutes. So it really gives you a good idea of what we want you to do. So we try to equip you with as many tools as we possibly can to help you guys be successful as an athlete, that wants to jump higher and be more explosive and actually do that. Not this bullshit on fucking Instagram where guys are doing stupid ass drills out of nowhere with no purpose. Everything has a purpose, everything has a progression, and it's very dialed in. It's not random at all. So yeah, that's kind of the, that's a type R. That's an interesting type R. That must be the new one. Oh, kind of looks mid, but interesting. Anyways, yeah, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But peace out, boys.